Afternoon world, Hippy Trev here. Another beautiful evening up here in paradise.
It's the Hippy Trev cooking show. What will he cook this time? Who knows? Let's sit back and see what he makes. So start cooking already, Trev, for fuck's sake.
Cooking with Hippy Trev. Right, world, it's another beautiful evening up here in paradise, and I'm going to do something I haven't done for a while, but I just got the taste for it. I decided I'm going to do some salmon. I know I've done this before. I'm going to do it again. I just had a bit of a craving for it. You can't believe it. This is that cost me $20 out of our local supermarket. Has the skin on it, and I'm sure it's from some salmon farm. Atlantic salmon, skim on portions. Kept frozen, blah, blah, blah. Property of Norway, so it didn't come out of Tasmania, where the salmon farms are, allegedly. So, anyway, don't hear anyone ranting and raving how salmon's this and salmon's that and full of mercury. I really don't give a fuck. I had a craving for salmon, so I decided I was going to buy some. But, yeah, that was $10. Sorry, $20. So, $10 for each piece of salmon. Very, very expensive. Anyone would think I was rich, but I said it's just a one-off craving. I haven't done a cooking show for a while. I haven't done anything for a while. Oh god, can't even get this out. I won't be buying this again in a hurry. I can tell you that right now. Like I said, at $20 for two very, very small pieces, I will not be buying salmon again for a long time. But at least it does have the skin on. Oh, I can't even get out of the fucking packet at the moment. Very watery. I've had it defrosting all afternoon. Right. I'm actually just gonna pat it down with a bit of paper towel. I don't know if that's the right thing to do or not. I'm not very good at cooking salmon. I have done it a couple of times. I think like the second time I've actually done it. I've actually filmed cooking my salmon. Right, now first thing first. Now I am going to use my non-stick Teflon pan instead of using my cast iron pan for this one. I cook everything in that cast iron pan, but for this, this is a little bit different, a little bit, kind of, I guess it could be a little bit more delicate. I'm going to cook in my non-stick poisonous Teflon fucking pan, and I also don't care what anyone's got to say about that either. Keep your fucking thoughts to that one to yourself, because I really just don't give a fucking shit that I'm cooking in Teflon. Mainly because I can't trust the salmon not to stick to the cast iron pan. So, keeping that in mind, let's get some salt and pepper on there. Lots of both. I love these salt and pepper shakers. I'm pretty sure it was Angry Ash that sent these to me. And I'm going to just douse it in heaps and heaps of salt and pepper, especially salt on the outside here. Each one of these takes like 6 or 7 batteries. They're incredible, but anyway. Also, my butter. I can feel the pan heating up. Got to have the pan nice and warm. A nice dab of butter in there. I'm sort of keeping, butter doesn't even go back in the fridge at the moment because we're getting pretty cold up here, although the days are normally pretty nice. Towards middle of today, we ended up about 23, 24 degrees up here today. The nights are certainly cold. When I get up around 7:38 in the morning, it's about 14 or 15 degrees Celsius, which is pretty cold for me. Good news. Old mate Husey, he's on his way to pick up his caravan, and he'll be heading up here in about 14 days' time. Looking forward to that. So where he left Corrigong this morning, I think that's where he was, or somewhere up around the hills there. It was 1 degree Celsius. So he'll be looking forward to coming up here to the good country. So he should be here in about 14 days. All right. I'm actually going to pop a little bit. Oh, I've already burnt the butter. Just going to put a little bit more salt and pepper on top of this. I've just toned the heat down a little bit. These are tiny. How can that be 20 bucks worth of salmon? Seriously, how can that be 20 bucks worth of salmon? But it is, that's what it cost me. I'm not going to complain about it. Like I said, I had a craving for it. And lucky I'm only one person, and I'm not trying to feed a family in this day and age. I'm one person. I can do a lash out once in a while and buy them a bit of salmon. I ain't going to make no bones about it, that sort of thing. So I bought it. Now I'm going to cook it. And the only thing is, hopefully, I can cook it right. And I can already tell it's just way too fucking hot, but anyway. Alright, I'm just going to leave it like that. Right on some different news. Mr. B, we got his car registered. Oh my god. Oh my god. Talk about history fucking repeating itself. So, when we went to take the Suzuki over, we're coming out of town, we're heading up Lunatic Hill, and then just that little Suzuki, that when he got the money back on it, coughed and anyway, by the time we got up North-South Road, we realised it was fucking time to come home. So I'd done all the work on the Mazda 6. I'd got the island pulley on, I'd got the tensioner pulley on, and I'd fixed the headlight and a couple of little tidy up jobs. And anyway, we're driving along, Mr. B's driving along, next minute we're coming up Lunatic Hill, and she goes, chunk chunk. Oh, what the fuck? What the fuck just happened? And okay, I'm worried about it. Go out the other side of Janarnal and we get another chunk chunk. And as we're driving, he's saying, something's not right with these dash lights. And anyway, it sort of behaved itself. Got over to where we had to go for the roadworthy. Flew through roadworthy, no problem, we knew it would. And anyway, we're going from there up into Childers to the courthouse. And as we're coming up into Childers, it's going cuckoo. And all the gear indicator lights on the dash were going out. Coming on, going out, coming on, going out. Basically, it was jumping between fourth and third, but violently. Oh, there we go. This must be way too hot. I'm burning this. There's just so much smoke coming off. It's just jumping between third and fourth, and all the gear. And then as we're pulling into Childers to find the target spot, a yellow light comes on and says YT. What the fuck? I look up in the little book that comes with the thing, and it says transaxle, serious problems, do not drive, or you will be causing irreparable damage. I'm like, oh, fuck with. Anyway, so we go down to the courthouse, and I'll wander off and go and get some Subway because I was craving some Subway. So I left Mr. B in the courthouse to get it registered. So we come back to the car, and we're sitting there, and Mr. B's there. By the way, I've just turned my fish over. That's really nice and crispy on the outside, a little bit burnt. So, anyway, he's ringing a mobile mechanic, and he doesn't want to drive the car home. He's like, oh, fuck, another fucking dud. It's looking like it's going to be like a full automatic transmission rebuild from what we're hearing. So we end up going to this place called White's Tractors in Childers. And there was actually an awesome lady behind the desk there, I can't remember her name. And they said, well, they're an RACQ thing, so if I ring RACQ because I'm travelling with the car, we can get out and get a free scan. Anyway, I ring RACQ, and it goes, option 1, if you are broken down, please tell me if you're in Sydney, Melbourne or Brisbane. For all other options, press 2. And like, what? RACQ have changed the menu. Like normally you go to your menu, yes, I'm broken down, you end up with an operator, hi, I'm here and here. Anyway, I ring it again, and I press the Brisbane option. Like, I'm not in fucking Brisbane, I'm in Childers. Brisbane's 300, 400k away. And I get the lady on the phone, and I'm saying, well, I'm here, and then all of a sudden the phone went like dead silent, nothing, like, what the fuck? So I don't know what the fuck's going on with RACQ. I could not get to an operator. I could not say that we were broken down on the side of the fucking road, and we needed someone to come out and have a look at the car. Anyway, well, I'm trying to do that. We go back in, and the lady behind desperately said, look, my brother's here. He's got the scan tool. We'll come out and do it, but it's going to cost you like 110 bucks. Anyway, he comes out with his scan tool. He runs a scan over and looks at some previous codes, and I've actually got the paper here. This fish is almost done. We end up with some previous codes. Anti-lock memory codes. Harness wiring short. Now remember, this car had all the headlights melted at some stage. ABS can, communication fault bus. Transmission range center circuit performance. That code there. Anyway, we do the scan code. Guy comes, takes it for a drive. We go for a bit of a drive. And at the end of the day, we sort of come to the conclusion, well, there's not much we can do. Let's just get the car home. And hopefully it doesn't make it home on the tilt tray. So anyway, so I said, Mr. Beadle, I'll drive home. So we're coming, leaving there, we're going, leaving church, and he's going, third drive, lights on the dash. Like, this is fucking nightmare. Anyway, somewhere along the drive, so you have your park, reverse, neutral, drive, and then you have a M selection. I put it into M, and it took me a while to figure out that you can pull your stick backwards and forward. I'm not used to these late model automatics, so you go forward, goes 4, 3, 2, 1 down to your gears, or you pull back on the stick and it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Get it into manual mode, and nothing's happening. Dash lights aren't going out. Everything's really good. So I decided, all right, I'm going to pull over. And Mr. Beadle's out, don't pull over, don't fucking pull over, just drive, just keep driving home. I said, well, I've got to figure this shit out. I think this fish is just about done before I burn it. So I pull over, stop, put it into park. Took a while to get a dash light for park. I'm running through the gears, and the dash light, the gear selector light's going out, then coming on. Finally get it into manual mode, and we worked out if we can get the orange light in manual mode, and we just use the manual, go up through the gears that way and drive it like a semi-manual. Automatic's absolutely fine. What I'm thinking is the safety neutral switch or your gear selector down on the transmission. I've looked at a few videos, they get corroded and fucked around. That's got to be where the problem is, because when it's in manual mode, it doesn't. If it's in drive mode, it'll jump third, fourth, third, fourth, third, fourth. It'll go third, fourth, third, fourth, third, fourth. Put into manual mode, click up through your gears, click down through your gears, whatever you have to do. Transmission doesn't fuck up at all. I don't think the problem's in the auto. I'm 100% sure it's the neutral safety switch. They're about 25 bucks. So anyway, Mr. B has got his car on the road, registered and going. I believe it's a neutral safety switch situation. It's only $25, and I can actually fit and change that. All right, I'm going to call them done. I think they're done. I'm going to pull them out. I just turned over. Whoop. Oh, actually, I don't know. Just going to put it on its side there for a little bit. Take the last of the heat out of the pan. I think they're done. So anyway, the other thing I want to do an oil and filter change. Well, you've got to buy a special fucking tool to take the oil filter cover off to change the oil filter. You've got to buy a special fucking tool. It's only like 15 bucks, but you've got to buy a special fucking tool to remove the fucking oil filter. These fucking new cars, seriously. Anyway, I think we've got a good. I think he's got a good car. He's on a bit of. I think we're going to be okay with this one. I'm also pretty sure that, like I said, it's the neutral safety switch that's crapped itself. It's an easy replacement. I can do that for him. And basically the cost of one of those is about 25 bucks. So I won't know more about that and for a couple of weeks, because he's just spent all his money getting it registered, then having to spend another $100 odd over at White's. Just to put a scan tool over it. I tell you what, you can. They had a pretty full-on fucking scan tool there. There we go. I'm gonna let that rest for a minute before I cut open. They had a pretty cool scan tool, and Mr. B said, "Oh, so what's one of them scan tools worth?" And I said, "Oh, probably about $1,000 or whatever, $1,500." $10,000 for a up-to-market modern scan tool, and they said the one they've got there, I don't know what brand it was like a $15,000 fucking scan tool. Like, holy shit. And you wonder why mechanics charge you a fortune just to plug a scan tool into your car, make sure it goes, or to check things. They've got to pay for all this equipment. They've got to pay for all this, but $10,000 for a goddamn scan tool. It's not a $35 one you buy at Autobarn that may clear your codes. But anyway, haven't heard much back from Mr. B, so hopefully it's just a neutral safety switch. That'll probably be a job company. Someone said, Mr. B will be coming in the driveway again next week. Well, I think you might not be far off being right there, but hopefully this will be one of the few things. And then just standard things, oil and filter change. There is a pan, gasket and filter for the transmission there, which is like, that was in the car when he bought it. I mean, that's got to be a fucking sign there's something wrong. If there's a brand new pan gasket and filter there for it. So whether we do a oil and filter change on the transmission, I don't really know. Or he wants to pay JJ's to do that. But I've got to go out and buy a special fucking tool just to do an oil and filter change on the engine. Like, holy shit. So, all right, well, I'm hungry. I guess I cut this open and see what it looks like on the inside. See how we go. Oily, but that's all right. That looks pretty good. I think that's good. And it's a bit hot to eat at the moment, so rightio, grab myself a plate. Sit down, have a little bit of a gnaw on this. Grab myself a pork. So at the end of the day, we just really hope that this Mazda 6 that he's got is going to be okay. It's going to do the job he needs, and hopefully it'll see him out basically. So see how the salmon taste. Good. That's really, oh my God. That's really good. That's cooked the way it should be done. Happy with that. Very happy with that. Oh. A bit hot. Righty, well, just my salmon done. I'm really happy with the way that turned out. That is definitely cooked. I think I've cooked it just about perfectly. And yeah, I did it in the Teflon pan. Didn't want to do it in the cast iron pan. So anyway, well, I'm absolutely loving the taste. I've been waiting for that. Can't believe that's $20 worth of fish on the plate. But anyway, it is what it is. It's a one-off craving. I don't think I'll be having salmon again for a long time, but I was certainly craving it, and I really wanted to have some tonight. So, and also want to just tell you what happened with the bee in his car, and hopefully in the future it'll get it all sorted. So anyway, well, that's cooking show number 35 or number 6. I've sort of lost count. So anyway, well, stay safe, keep your knees in the breeze, and I will catch you later. Bye.